Galnet News Digest, 3rd of December 3305. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Ida plans a one and done. Beta be gone. Back to black. Famine, war, and pestilence. Ida plans a one and done. Tharg the Mighty may be in hiding, but the damage he's done to the galaxy will take many years to repair, with dozens of damaged stations needing to be fixed up. The first Thargoid attacks took place on the 14th of December 3303. A year later, repair organisation Operation Ida organised an event to try to fully repair a station within a single day. With the help of many commanders, they managed to repair it in 3 hours, and went on to repair a second before the 24 hours had elapsed. Operation Ida has been working to repair more stations in the meantime, but on the second anniversary of the start of the Thargoid attacks, which is also the first anniversary of that Herculean repair effort, they're planning another single-day station repair as part of their Holiday Haul event. They haven't quite decided which station to repair yet, but when they do, there's no doubt that they will do amazingly well. There really is no other group of commanders quite so good at shuttling repeatedly back and forth between two stations for hours on end, hauling ridiculous amounts of repair goods. Beta be gone. The galaxy's shortest ever beta test is complete, with literally tens of commanders doing their best to help the Pilots Federation track down those hard-to-isolate bugaboos that can make life in the cockpit just a little bit less pleasant than it ought to be. Some doubting Thomases questioned the wisdom of holding the extremely brief beta during a time traditionally reserved for eating the descendants of the flying dinosaurs that survived mass extinction, only to discover that the descendants of tiny mammals that also survived like eating dinosaurs. But the Pilots Federation has quite rightly pointed out that holding the beta at that time almost certainly means fewer known bugs to have to deal with, for which they are truly thankful. Back to black. The Pilots Federation is in the middle of another annual sale of black paint jobs. This has become such a regular event that the day the sale starts has become known as Black Friday. The extremely interesting but somewhat thermally inefficient black paint jobs were supplemented this year by so-called Stygian paint jobs, which despite the name are not pitch black, but a rather nice shiny range of metallic finishes. These cherishable paint jobs will be available until the 6th of December, and if you miss them, they'll be back on sale once again in another 359 days. There is as yet no word of whether there will be any special paint jobs on the countdown to Christmas, but the Pilots Federation has announced that its annual fundraising event will not be happening this year. This means that Commander Psycho will need to make do with the 6 copies of Planet Coaster he already has, at least until the next charity event, which will be held in February next year. It will apparently be a game blast. Famine, war, and pestilence. The proposed new faction states have been stirring up a great deal of interest. They include content drought, in which nothing new happens until the end of the year 3306. Infrastructure failure, during which commanders can't log in, and Commanders Dav and Eagle Boy run around in circles, screaming. Terrorism, during which brave members of the population attempt to restore order using a narwhal tusk. Natural disaster, during which sea levels rise and Cambridge disappears below sea level. And public holidays, during which the population gets sunburned and drinks too much, and then sits in a 50-mile tailback to get home at 3 o'clock the next morning. Following the success of Famine, War and Outbreak as faction states, consideration is being given to another new faction state, Death, during which all the citizens will die, leaving the system uninhabited. Meanwhile, a small island state on the planet Earth is undergoing the faction states of perma-Brexit and election, with civil disobedience and chaos pending, almost as if the inhabitants thought that anyone could care less. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.